So much like the sets where when I can I like to do things for real rather than CG, very similar with the little squib effects that we have once or twice in the film as well. Over the years I've made a few films since I was a kid really, and they always had little explosions and bullets hitting things and stuff. So when we first see Drew and Hannah in the shuttle, when they first sort of wake up after they've crashed, we sort of open that scene with one going off. It's not the most impressive pyrotechnic you'll ever see, but it's just enough and it's real. It's actually is something in camera. And the other ones is when Phil is shooting up the deflector control room, I put these little squibs in, and so it was the very last thing I did in that room that night. I was just there on my own and set them off. And yeah, I thought they came out really quite well actually. I did them separately, and it's a sort of a split screen composite so that you get two go off in quick succession. And I also had this like random banger thing floating around, which I really didn't, I must have had that for 15 years and I didn't know where I got it from now. I couldn't remember, and I didn't know how powerful the thing was. So I put it inside that box on top of the table and let the thing go, and yeah, it packed a bit of a punch. It was bloody loud. But yeah, that's the joys of using real squibs. It just makes it a little bit more fun, and I think you just get that little bit extra value for money. And another key area that I really wanted to avoid CG, and if I could, was this effect of Janice Pazian's face kind of crumbling away. A guy, Jim, very kindly reached out and just said, if you ever need any help, I'm a sculptor and I do this kind of work, and let me know. So I thought, aha, so I did. I contacted him, and he was like a super helpful, really sweet, resourceful guy who was like really up for helping us. He did loads of experiments with figuring out how to make them crumble and different effects and different textures and stuff so that they would break more or less easily. And he made like, I think like 8 or 9, and he wrapped them all up really well and sent them up to me. One had got damaged in transit, unfortunately. So I thought, well, I'll make something of it still. And I just did a test. You can just sort of see I'm squeezing a little bit, probably too hard if I was trying to check him for his health. It kind of worked and it looked pretty cool, so it just kind of got left. And then on one of the very last days, months and months and months later, Hannah was back, and one of the things we wanted her to do that day was to film this insert shot. And unfortunately what had happened over the intervening months was, I didn't realise, but the stuff they were made from was hardening. It was getting harder and harder and harder and harder every day, every hour they were sat waiting. So they were so hard that Hannah couldn't break them. I mean, none of us could.
No, that was really hard. It was really hard to crush that. My fingers ache.
And it's still not crushed.
And it's still not crushed.
So we spent ages, like a long time, trying to weaken them and like plunge them in boiling water straight out the freezer and drilling pilot holes in them. It was getting a little bit comical actually. I mean, we were really pressed for time, but they were just indestructible.
Right, more holes.
More holes are needed. We couldn't smash the things up. It was quite absurd. So I came up with this method in the end of I had a piece of hose coming out the back of the dummy's head, and on the end of that we had a balloon which I was able to inflate and deflate to push these pieces of pre-broken masks so that they would kind of expand and contract. And so there was a bit more CG going on with it in the end than anticipated, but that was more just to kind of tidy it up. But I still think it looks much better than it would have, thanks to Jim, than if we just done it completely CG throughout. So thanks, Jim. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little video. If you did, then please like it and leave a comment if you're inclined. Even if you hated it, why not? You might as well go crazy. And also please subscribe as well. We really appreciate that. And stay tuned for some more videos coming soon. And thanks for watching.